there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking love and marriage, Huntsville. You guys know why you are here. Today we are talking because we need to discuss, we have an update, you guys, on these lawsuits, on these court cases in Madison County, in Alabama, because it does not rest there, you guys, with all these lawsuits that are currently active and the ones that will be pending come soon enough. So we have some updates on some motions and requests for dismissals of these lawsuits that the judge has come back and given a decision on June 24th, and we're going to talk about it. So this comes from courtesy of fellow YouTuber, content creator T from TV. She had the due documents that I am going to be referencing and discussing and providing analysis. We do not have a problem citing our sources, giving shout outs, whatever. There's no copyright, no plagiarism, none of the things. We'll definitely do all of that. So shout out to her if you wanted to get more or any additional documentation that she may have, right? So let's get into both of them, right? So the motion to dismiss the lawsuit that Maurice filed against Black Titanic and the content creators, it says the following: the order came from the judge. The motion to dismiss defamation complaint for lack of jurisdiction filed by, and it's again blacked out for privacy reasons, on June 24th, 2024 is hereby denied. Done on this day, the 4th of June 2024, so a couple of days ago on Monday. And then we have a request because they told Maurice, one of the quote-unquote core six of the show, we need this case dismissed, we need this countersuit dismissed of the 21 counts of the $105 million against us. And remember, most recently they approved, they authorized, they added, the Oprah Winfrey Network is also a defendant for this case as well. So here is the update on Maurice's motion to dismiss the countersuit against him and the OWN network. It says, this cause came before the court on June 17th, 2024 for a hearing on the motion to dismiss filed by the plaintiff counter-defendant Maurice J. Scott Sr. on May 17th, 2024, and the response thereto filed by the defendant, blah, 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 blacked out for privacy reasons, on June 13th, 2024. Having considered the arguments and representations of counsel and having considered all relevant and applicable law, this court finds that said motion to dismiss is due to be and the same is hereby denied. Done. This day, this 24th day of June 2024, so both requests to have these cases dismissed were denied. And I know some people are going to have, various reactions. I think personally the judge wants to see all the receipts from all parties involved prior to making a decision. They want to see whether or not, the content creators and everybody else, right? They want to see if there is anything in the alleged receipts that Maurice filed that is going to prove any type of defamation, any proof that he lost any businesses, any proof that, the receipts that they had on his background was not him and all those things. They want those receipts, you guys. But here's going to be the problem for Maurice and OWN, right? Is you have framed this lawsuit, the countersuit, the response to Maurice's lawsuit, you frame this as specifically Black women being targeted, specifically Black women being singled out, specifically requesting information that has nothing to do with why you are filing a defamation case in the first place. It's completely and utterly irrelevant. And then furthermore, all of the tomfoolery that has been going on this show
all of the misogyny that's been allowed, all of the, slick ways these men have talked to these black women on this show. It is not a good look. And then slandering, a fan base on top of it all is not a good look. In the middle of a $105 million lawsuit, can you make it make sense? Why isn't anybody, re-editing the show, reshooting scenes, talking about something else? Why are you moving Godspeed ahead, full speed ahead with this narratives? I don't understand. Martell's already been convicted, you guys. And the fact that Judge, like I said, for me, I don't see this as a loss for Black Titanic. I actually see this as an opportunity because her receipts are going to show, hey, I didn't defame you, right? And then the thing is, though, the problem is going to be where there's receipts of own. Again, targeting black women, saying the most heinous and disrespectful things about black women for clicks and views. And in particular, this lawsuit is very misogynistic, right? It's very much, only trying to pinpoint certain black female YouTubers. There's nowhere in there about any black male YouTubers. There's nothing in there, about what the actual rationale and cause is. Other than you just want to know their bank information, you want to know where they live, you want to know about somebody's significant other, their spouse. Like, it's all of these things that have nothing to do with the issue at hand, which was whether or not you were defamed, whether or not you lost business, whether or not somebody spoke on the wrong identity, you guys. That is the case. Regardless of, who's with who live, where somebody lives, none of that matters. Bank statements, what does that have to do with you being defamed and you losing business, right? But I just can't believe that we're even here. I can't believe it has escalated to this. But nonetheless, we move forward. We move, right? We continue on and all of the things. But I never thought this was a good idea in the first place. I don't think that, people on the cast and people who were encouraging the cast to follow through with these things thought this through and thought that this would be a nice little scare tactic. This would be a nice little intimidation factor. I don't think that they thought that this was going to go the lengths that it has gone. And I don't think that they thought that OWN would ever be involved as well. So it is completely, taken a turn and has really gotten very serious, which is why I don't understand why people are going on their platforms in front of hundreds and thousands of subscribers and flat out calling people stalkers and all of these things, and you don't have the proper receipts or intel to even support those claims, to even support those arguments, right? But for me, it's all about what is going to come out, what is going to be in the evidence that I feel is going to tell the story. And whether or not how far this is going to go with the OWN network, if they're going to be, people subpoenaed, such as the cast, such as production, and all of the things, and speak to what you knew about this, what you spoke about this, any commentary that's taking place on these social media platforms, any comments that's liking, anything that's harassing or completely out of order. And again, you would think with this active lawsuit, there's still cast members, you guys, on Facebook that are pushing false narratives, still trying to blame Black Titanic and Melody Cherie Rogers and all of these things for anything negative that's happening to them, and there's zero receipts, you guys. There's zero receipts. It's like, oh, I heard this was all orchestrated by Mel, or I heard this was all orchestrated by, like, no receipts, nothing to back anything up. Carlos King calling people stalking, and this was literally a one and done situation when Black Titanic went to Stormy's warehouse. But if you listen to Carlos King, he's making it seem like Black Titanic had a whole map at her house and pinpointed at each and every single day for 2 years that she was going to keep driving up to this warehouse, which is impossible because Stormy moves warehouses as much as we change clothes. So again, that is already a debunked theory, debunk conspiracy, but it's just wild, you know, that again, we're here and people thought this was a game. People thought this was a game, but this is what happens when you have jealousy that is the root of all evil, when you have greed that is the root of all evil, when you have lust that's the root of all evil, and you are not thinking with your right mind on the things that you need to be doing and the things that you need to be handling. And these are the results. These are the consequences. You were so concerned about dismantling a fan base and dismantling one of your stars of the show, or arguably the star of the show, and now you're caught up in legal trouble. Now you're caught up in lawsuits. For what? Was all of this worth it? Was all of this worth it all because you wanted somebody to bend down on their knees on their platforms and give an apology? They removed the videos at your request. But all this other tomfoolery for what? For what? Right? But again, you know, if Black Titanic and her team, her attorneys and everybody else can prove, hey, the identity that I pulled that, you know, receipt on about an alleged pass is really you, it's game over. If they can prove that that's really him, and if, you know, that subscriber can prove that perhaps there was a name change, or perhaps all of this happened after the records were expunged, this is game over, you guys. This is game over, because basically you falsified a lawsuit, you filed a frivolous lawsuit after you cleared your record, and cleared allegedly whatever your name is, right? And then decided to move forth, because prior to this DUI, you could basically say, hey, I don't have any criminal past, I don't have any criminal record, nobody's going to think to look at whether or not this is really my name, nobody's going to think to look whether or not, you know, I had any other cases or any other issues, and it is just a disaster, you guys. It is just a disaster. And here we are. Right? But here is the problem when you let, like I said, the arrogance and the ego and everything else overtake you, instead of just listening to common sense, right? I thought the DRUG Kingpin allegations was actually the ones that actually set off Maurice. I thought that actually was what he was most offended about. But nonetheless, we're here. We are here, you guys, and both lawsuits are moving forward as we speak. So we'll continue to monitor this. We will continue to see what the updates are. We will continue to see, you know, what happens in court and all of the things, and shout out to the people who are, you know, tracking this and reporting on this and are having the accurate receipts on what's taking place, right? And not just reading the court documents and having a completely different interpretation than what it actually says on the documents. I've never heard that before until this sector decided, hey, if anything that is pro-Mel, anything that is in defense of Mel, it's fake documentation, you guys. It's not a real custody battle. And I was like, wait, what? The kids are lying? Did you read the account of the kids and the school and all of the things? Did you read all of the testimony? What are you talking about? It's fake news. So again, that is why, you know, in a way, I'm glad this is moving forward, because everything is going to be out on the table as far as I'm concerned. And all of these people, all of these cast members that wanted to feed into the frenzy, that are still feeding into the tomfoolery on Facebook, on Instagram lives, on, you know, Twitter and everything else, that this is, you know, now the gloves are off. Now everybody has to show their hand. Now everybody has to prove their case and prove whether or not they truly were defamed. And also, it is going to be another added layer now that OWN is a part of this lawsuit, and it is not looking good for the treatment of several black women, not just the black YouTuber sector, but also on the show. That there is this targeted approach to have this negativity, to have this slander. So it is going to be very interesting to see what comes of this and everything else. So there is that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.